All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome right here to beautiful Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut, as we settle in for some baseball play today. Don Boyle, Steve Riley alongside for the call of this one. Steve had me in the wrong pot there, so I couldn't hear anything, and there you go. Doing a good job, my man. Hey, the wind is blowing ferociously out towards left center field as Westport in town to take on Middletown in this loser's bracket matchup. Winner moves on, loser, they go home. We're going to pause for the playing of the national anthem.
And fans, at this time we ask that you rise, remove your caps, and join us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
All right, welcome right back here to gorgeous Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut, as we settle in their sharp-looking red uniform tops. Middletown, they're out in the field. They are the home team here today. Westport in the blue and the black, and looking a little bit like the Houston Astros. Colors just a little bit different. Steve, you got the batting order for the visitors, Westport.
Leading off is the center fielder, Chris Drabel. He'll be followed by the left fielder, Tom Quigley. Matt Stone's the catcher, and he'll bat third. Batting in the cleanup spots, the first baseman, Harris Azadian. Chris Veneruso played third base and bat fifth. Andrew Moy plays shortstop, bat sixth. Ben Shatman, the second baseman, bats seventh. Kevin Linwall will play right field to bat eighth. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, Kevin Gear, for the pitcher, Jack Portman.
Yeah, Portman will get to start out in the mound. And Sean Lenahan going through his warm-ups right now for Middletown. As with this beautiful ballpark, Famagatti will start behind the plate. He'll catch the balls and strikes. Leskowski will play at first base. Connor Carty is down to bag at second. They have Luke Garofalo at shortstop. He's a good player. Tyler LeMay, he'll man third base today. Petrozello in left field. Center fielder is Timmy Dixon. Connor Rolnick is the right fielder defensively for this Middletown team. Of course, Zone 3, Zone 4 being represented here today. Westport 13 and 11 during the regular year. The top team in that zone was Stanford. They're gone.
They're gone, yeah.
Yeah, they're not around right now.
Losing twice, once to Guilford and the second time to Brantford.
Middletown, team that had a nice season at 16 and 12. So we're just about ready. Drabel to step into that right-hander's batter's box. He'll play center field today. And you got Quigley on deck and Stone to follow. Pitching could be the key here today. The winner moves on in the tournament. The loser, they go home. And boy, it's not an easy task because you're taking on a team tomorrow that is unbeaten in their pod.
And then you have to beat them twice.
Ground ball dribble foul.
Well, Don, this is one of the strangest weather days I've seen in a long time here in Connecticut. It rains, 2 minutes later it stops, and the sun comes out. 5 minutes later it rains again. So it's been raining on and off here in this area for quite some time now.
Got 1 ball and 1 strike. Lenahan into the windup, and the right-hander's pitch. Tried to turn one over the outside corner, just missed, and the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. Right now the weather is cooperating. As you mentioned, kind of an odd day weather-wise. Couldn't figure it out, that's for sure.
If you notice, Don, the infield is no longer the gravel infield that we've seen in the past. It does very well with rain.
Pitch fouled straight back.
Well, it's a different surface. It's the color being brown.
Count full at 3-2. Lenahan working deliberately. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and high and outside, ball 4. Drabel draws a walk. Very patient at bat. Not bad for leadoff guy. Saw a lot of pitches. And Tommy Quigley will step up to the plate. Let's see what type of ball Westport will play here. You might remember a few years ago they had a fabulous Little League team, went on to the Little League World Series.
Well, let's have to see how the footing is out there for base runners.
So Quigley, first pitch high and outside for ball 1. Quigley, 5'10", 150. He'll graduate from Westport in 2019, so he'll be a senior this upcoming September. Actually, some schools start in August now. And the pitch missed outside. Outfield playing with a bit of a shift. You got Dixon roaming around in right center field for the left-handed hitting Quigley. There goes a runner, pitch to the plate, and the ball dropped by the catcher. And McGlady, that's going to be a stolen base. That was on the pitcher. There was no chance for the catcher to get him anyhow.
Yeah, he had that base stolen pretty well. Got a great jump. Pitcher had a little bit of a kick there, so there's no chance for that catcher. Big ballpark here, down 400 feet, straight center, 380. In the left and center, right center gaps, 327 down the left field line. 322 down the right field line.
Count goes at 3 balls and 1 strike.
Wouldn't be surprised, though, if a ball goes out of here today in that left field, because look at that American flag out there waving proudly towards the left field fence.
Top of the first. Runner in scoring position for Westport. They don't have many guys in their dugout, Steve. Beyond the 9 on the field, they go only 2 deep.
I know.
Pitch it. Going to be, 3-2 now to the batter here, Quigley, with Stone on deck.
Yeah, Quigley tried to drag a bunt there. Missed the ball. Yeah, we have some some guys down in that bullpen for Middletown. There certainly aren't anybody to put into the bullpen in Westport.
And that's the second consecutive walk issued by Lenahan here. Now you got runners in first and second and nobody out for Westport. A little conversation out on the mound. Ben McGlady coming out trying to take charge, which is the right thing to do. Settle down the starter, Lenahan.
Well, it's early in the game, but it is a 7-inning game. In the past, we've seen tournament games, Don, that have been 9 innings. But in this part of the tournament, it's only 7.
You know, with the pitch counts and the like, I'm certainly
I know.
in agreement with a lot of folks that think they should be 7-inning ball games all the time. Pitch inside. And you know what? To keep the interest of these high school and amateur players alive, I think 7-inning ball games, breaking away from tradition, would probably, shorten the game a little bit, keep a little more interest.
Well, they did move this year down to the regular season where they now have the starter can re-enter, similar to CIAC rules. I don't believe you can do that, though, in the tournament.
Lenahan behind the count. Here comes the 1-0. Runners go. Curveball over for the strike and no chance again for Lemaggetti. We mentioned Lenahan very deliberate with his delivery, even with men on base. And that double steal will put a 2 in the scoring position at second and third.
And that time he switched to a curveball, even though he was behind 1-0, because he just wanted to see if he could throw a strike with it.
He got it over, and that one missed outside. Count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. Kind of a difficult ride for Westport to get here today. That is not easy at this time of day.
Yeah.
Most likely the Merritt Parkway on the Route 66. Ground ball is going to be hit up the middle. It's going to bring home at least 1. Dickerson will charge the ground ball to center field. He'll come up throwing. It will be cut off, and that's a 2-run base hit by Matt Stone.
A nice piece of hitting there. That's what happens when you fall behind hitters, Don. You got to throw it in there, and Stone took advantage of it, getting that RBI, 2 RBI single there.
First baseman number 9, Harris Zadian.
So Westport off to a great start here. Zadian to the plate. Harris is the first baseman for Westport. Still nobody out. Runner at the bag at first. And Lenahan's pitch to the plate in there for the strike call. Then Russo in the on-deck circle. Lenahan again working from the stretch. Good lead by the runner at first. Curveball, chop foul, third base side.
Well, you know, Don, you only need 9 to play. So if Westport only has 9 or 10 guys here, that's all they need.
Count now 0-2. Lenahan finally ahead of a hitter here. See how he deals with the cleanup hitter in the lineup for Westport. He'll throw over to the bag at first, getting on back there with Stone. Close play over there.
Yeah, Stone had a big lead, Don. I'm surprised that, a little bit quicker there over to first they would have had him.
Count remains 0-2. Lenahan looks in. Checks the runner. There goes the runner, and the pitch low and away. Throw on down, not in time going and standing up. Zadian, I should say Stone, with a stolen base.
Yeah, but Lenahan's not going to slide step, Don. There's going to be a lot of base running tonight.
And he's so slow and deliberate with his delivery on top of it. That is the 4th stolen base of the inning already. Includes a double steal. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lenahan's going to step off the rubber. And again, Flamighetti's going to come out and have a quick chat with him.
Probably to get together on the signals with the runner on second base. And now we have somebody warming up now. Side armor down there in the Middletown bullpen.
Well, the winner remains in the tournament, and the loser, their season comes to an end. They have refurbished this ballpark. Absolutely amazing around the outside area, outside the stands here. The old wooden stand still in place, but count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lenahan, that big leg kick, swing and a miss, and he gets his first out of the inning on a strikeout as Zadian will go back to the dugout on the first base side. And Russo coming up to the plate. Christopher, the third baseman for this Westport team, with 1 down and a runner at second.
Well, as you said, Don, both these teams already played 2 games in, 2 days? So they're running down their pitching staffs.
Well, actually, they didn't play yesterday.
They played yesterday?
That's right. They didn't play.
That's right, because this game was rained out.
This game was scheduled to be played yesterday.
This is their second game, yeah.
Pitch over for the strike call.
But my understanding is Middletown actually had the last game won for the most part, and right, their pitcher had to come out because of the pitching rules in the 7th, and then they ended up losing in North Haven.
Count 0-1 to Veneruso. Lenahan's pitch, the runner goes, pitch popped up. Shortstop floating to the outfield grass, left fielder coming on, and Petrozello will put it away. Veneruso retired. Good communication by the shortstop and left fielder that time for Middletown.
Well, sometimes, Don, you got to see out of the corner of your eye to notice that runner's got third base stolen, and just don't swing. Unless you got 2 strikes.
So now you got 2 down, and Moy stepping up to the plate. He's a shortstop for Westport. Stone in scoring position. He brought home 2 with a base hit. And the pitch to the plate, and that's flared right to the shortstop. Garofalo makes the easy play, and that will do it in the inning. Damage done. 2 walks and an RBI off the bat of Matt Stone. Not 1, but 2. 2-0. Westport with the lead. We're back with the bottom of inning number 1 right after this.
Both walks scored.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation.
All right, welcome right back here. Mother Nature cooperating at this point in time, trying to get this game in so the tournament can continue. Of course, they got to play games and move on to the next one. Old philosopher told me that, Steve, as we move on to the bottom of inning number 1. And here's a batting order for
Leading
Middletown.
off, the left fielder, Cal Petrosello, Luke Garofalo, the shortstop, batting second. Tim Dixon, the center fielder, batting third. And Connor Carty, the second baseman, batting fourth. Connor Rolnick, the right fielder, batting fifth. Cole Needman, the designated hitter, batting sixth. Andrew Kliskowski, the first baseman, batting seventh. Ryan Famigletti, the catcher, batting eighth. And Tyler LeMay, the third baseman, batting ninth.
So going through his warm-ups is Jack Portman, the strong-looking lefty out in the mound for Westport. Matt Stone behind the plate. Harris Azadian behind the plate, down at first base rather. Put his name in the wrong spot there. Ben Shatman, your second baseman. Andrew Moy playing the shortstop spot, and Chris Veneruso at the bag at third. Tommy Quigley plays left field. Chris Drabel in center, and Kevin Lindwall is in right field defensively. With the wind blowing out towards left center field, and Middletown trailing by 2 runs into the bottom of the first. Petrosello stepping up to the plate, and Cal going to try to get something going here offensively for Middletown real quick. First pitch in for the strike as Portman looks like he's got a pretty good fastball off that left arm.
Yeah, take a look at that center fielder down how shallow he's playing. They certainly don't expect Petrosello to hit it deep.
Here comes the 0-1. That's down low. So you got 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, the first baseman over there for Westport, Azadian, initially was way up, then he moved way back, or to medium back.
Petrosello will take down low. The count at 2 balls, 1 strike. Petrosello out of Coggin-Chog Regional, graduated 2018. Yep. Pitch missed high and outside.
Remember him well. We played Coggin-Chog this year in high school baseball down, and we played both. I think we also, Mr. Garofalo played for them as well, if I'm not mistaken. He was their shortstop.
And the 3-1, and he missed him. He tried to aim that, did Portman, stretching out the back a little bit. Always perhaps a little nerve-rattling facing that first batter of a game.
Yeah, I know Garofalo also is a great pitcher in his own right, Don, as he throws the ball somewhere around 90 miles an hour. And Coggin-Chog this year really a high seed, and we just got lucky to upset them.
Garofalo, the shortstop today. He pitched in game 1 of this tournament, so he's not eligible to pitch today. He got Dixon in the on-deck circle. Garofalo 6'1", 185.
He can whack the ball.
Portman checks the runner, and here comes a pitch. Ground ball hit to the right side. Nice play by Shatman. Comes up rolling from the dirt and on the first for the out. Taking second is Petrosello. Nice play there by Shatman to make that play and the out of Garofalo.
Yeah, Garofalo did hit it hard, but a nice play, as you said, by Shatman.
Brings up Timmy Dixon.
Center fielder, number 4, Tim Dixon.
Dixon at the University of Hartford coming back to play some Legion ball. Always great to see. They go for the pickoff attempt, and that ball ricochet off of Shatman's glove. They're trying to catch Petrosello. He looks like he's got some pretty good speed down there, Steve.
Yeah. Question is how much territory does he gather as he goes by, but he's got a decent lead.
Portman graduated from Westport in 2018. 6 feet 185 out in the mound there.
Yeah, Petruzzello just trying to dance around a little bit, trying to distract the pitcher.
Count 1 ball, no strikes to Dixon. 1-0 pitch hit on the ground down to the shortstop. Moy will field it, went for the force at third and didn't get him there. And
the ball hit. Yeah, you got hit by the ball in the back.
Hit by the ball, yeah, and he's down.
Probably going to be an E6 on that one, Don. He went to third. The ball was hit in front of him, but it wasn't hit all that hard. And Petruzzello took off and didn't slide. He didn't expect the ball to be thrown because he didn't slide it off. Right off the back.
So Dixon on a fielder's choice error, allowing the runner to take third base, as I believe is the way they'll score that. They haven't yet. Let's see if they do.
Oh, and that's be an error. He threw the ball off the guy's back.
Yeah. Not up there yet. Yeah. Connor Carty will step up to the plate. So they'll make sure that Petruzzello is okay. He walked to get on. Took second on the ground ball out, advanced to third on that slowly hit ground ball to Moy. It was an interesting decision by Moy to try to get the lead runner there.
Yeah, he was probably trying to quickly throw it over there, thought it was a mistake, but the ball didn't just get hit hard enough to him to make it. I mean, he almost caught him off guard, though, because Petruzzello didn't slide, but you see many times where umpires will call you out just on principle if it's close and you don't slide.
So Carty's going to step in, the second baseman. Up in a great spot here. Runners at first and third, just one down in the bottom of one. The pitch is up high from Portman. Carty out of Xavier High School, graduate 2018. Played some hockey too. Runner goes first to second. The throw down, and the tag is made, and they got him. They tag out Dixon trying to steal second base. Petruzzello stayed anchored at the bag at third.
Kind of surprising that he stayed anchored totally. I mean, he really didn't move much off the bag at third as well, at all.
So now you got two down.
Pitcher at that time, Lenahan waved his glove at it as if to try to decoy the runner at third, and that might have had something to do with it.
It's a nice tag there by Chapman. Dixon slide, he was very upright too when he went into the bag there. It's a little pop-up coming on center fielder and making the catch as Drabel for the inning's final out. So the threat goes by the boards for Middletown. They run into an out with the caught stealing, and we have played one full. Westport has the lead by the score of 2-0. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more right here on SportingNewsCT.com.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
All right, welcome right back as we continue with our coverage of American Legion baseball on a nice Monday evening, early evening. 6 o'clock, I think, represents evening time, doesn't it? So I guess it's late afternoon. Depends on where you are. Chapman will lead it off, Lindwall to follow, then Gear. That's 7, 8, 9 in the lineup here for Westport. They scored 2 in the top of the first, and the pitch over for the strike from Lenahan, who looks a little more comfortable all of a sudden out in the mound.
Yeah, there's just the same cloudy, a lot of sunshine out there now.
Pitch is fouled back.
Clouds, yeah. Still some gray, puffy clouds out there, and clouds have slowed down a little bit.
So you got 1 ball and 2 strikes. Into the windup. Lenahan missed outside.
Let me see if he doubles up on the curveball now. Sometimes pitchers will do that 1-2.
Lenahan's 2-2 pitch comes fastball. Got him. Struck him out. That's his second strikeout of the ball game. He got one down, so that's a much better start for Lenahan. In the first, he walked 2 consecutive, and he got himself into a lot of trouble, didn't he?
Yeah. Especially since see if he can somehow, if you keep the runners off bases, they can't steal. So there's the formula for him.
Lindwall to the plate. Can't score if you can't get on, right? Here comes the pitch. Lindwall will take the high strike call. Trying to earn that strike zone is Lenahan right now. And the 0-1. Little curveball, and that's going to be fouled off down to the third base coach. Count now 0-2.
Yeah, Lenahan works the first base side of the rubber, Don. You know that I'm an advocate of either middle or right side for right-handed pitchers.
Another curveball. That's tomahawk to the third baseman. Going to be ruled foul. Nice play by LeMay over there anyhow to go get it. Count remains 0-2.
Let's see if Lenahan works away now.
Outfield for Middletown playing just about straight away. And the 0-2 pitch came inside. Another curver. Lenahan had to go off the heel of his glove, and then Garofalo couldn't pick it up, and that's going to be a base hit by Lindwall as he put it right back through the pitcher. Probably should have fielded that, Steve, but it's difficult. You know, you're a little bit off balance as a pitcher out there in the mound. And
yeah, that's why I said the ball looked like it got tipped by his glove, which slowed it down and made it a little bit harder for Garofalo to make that running play.
Brings up Kevin Greer. Greer, the designated hitter, number 9 guy in the lineup for this Westport team. He got Drabel in the on-deck circle, representing the top of the order. So a runner on. They stole 4 bases in the first off Lenahan, and now he's throwing to the bag at first and making sure those runners stay tight.
Yeah, if you noticed, Don, his legs to first base are also long.
Missed outside. The count goes 1 ball, no strikes. More baseball coming your way. We'll figure things out tonight on where we will be. And the pitch. Strike call over the outside corner.
Yeah, that time Lenahan went with a slide step, and it's probably the thing to do at times. At least he's varying up his delivery to the plate. That time trying to hold the batter in for quite a while. Look for the runner to go on this pitch.
Lenahan out of Xavier High School. 6'2", 145. You mentioned those long legs.
Yeah.
Puts him well over 6 feet. Throws over the first again.
Well, it's the long step. In other words, he's stepping a long way towards first base.
Gear, left-handed hitter. Here's the 1-1 to him. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. Throw on down, not in time. Famiglietti just couldn't get a good grip on that and took away any chance, and that's the 5th stolen base of the game for Westport.
Yeah, and that time also the batter, Don Lindwall, Gear, you know, he swung through it, so he forces the catcher Famiglietti just to wait a split second further.
I think it's actually Kevin Greer looking at the Greer.
Okay.
It wasn't written that way on the roster sheet that we received, the lineup card that we received. Greer was just showing. Bunt pulled it back. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner down the bag at second in the name of Kevin Lindwall. Westport trying to add to their 2-0 lead. Scored 2 in the first if you're just tuning in. Big gap in left center field. The wind's blowing that in that direction. Let's see if Greer can get it out there. Looks like he tried to, and he fouled it back.
Yeah, even with 2 strikes, you notice the first baseman for Middletown playing up on the grass. Still thinking that he might bunt.
Two balls, 2 strikes to count. Lenahan checks a runner at second base. Here comes a 2-2 offering low and inside. and the count full again at 3-2. He walked 2 batters in the first, and they both scored.
See, that's where it hurts, Don, as a fielder didn't know what the pitch was, because normally if you're a lefty batter and there's a curveball coming down and in, the first baseman should be backed up.
3-2. High and outside, ball 4. Going to put runners at first and second with 1 down, and back to the top of the order, Chris Drabel. Drabel walked, stole a base, actually stole 2 bases, and scored a run.
Yeah.
Center fielder number 1, Chris Drabel.
Third walk of the game issued, and this is just the second inning.
This game a Southern Division regional game. Pitch down low. Oakville, North Haven, Middletown, Westport making up the pot of 4. Winner of this game will play North Haven. A game to be played in North Haven. Middletown and Westport cannot play a home game over the next couple of days. And now they got the runner pick off. If they execute it, Lenahan running him back. Lindwall's going to be tagged out by the second baseman, Connor Carty. Good work there by the pitcher and Carty.
Yep, Lenahan did what he's supposed to do, just run right at the runner, push him back towards the base he came from, then toss it as soon as it's called for. Man, nice spin move that time by Lenahan as he caught Lindwall, thinking he was going to deliver.
So now you got one on base as Drabel awaits, and the pitch. Nope, they're going to throw to first and get him. They get Greer. How do you like that? That's such a strange thing. You know what? You do become a little overconfident when you've stolen 5 bases in the game, but the pickoff and a caught stealing has ended any hope of runs on the board for Westport. We'll be back with the bottom of inning number 2 right after these messages.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was...
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
All right, welcome right back. Good one brewing here. Bottom of inning number 2, and the lefty Portman going through his warm-ups for Westport. His team leading by the score 2-0, and kind of a strange tale. 2 different stories for Sean Lenahan from first to second inning out in the mound for Middletown.
Well, we said, Don, that the way to not have any stolen bases is to keep them off the base. Well, there's another way to have no stolen bases. Pick them off.
Picked one off. Actually picked 2 off, didn't he, when you think about it?
Yep.
One further down the baseline than the other. One going back to the bag, the old traditional pick off, and the other where he spun and just watched the runner get caught between second and third. So leading things off is Rulnick, and they'll swing at the first pitch and fouls it off. Middletown threatened in the bottom of the first inning. They had runners on the corners and came up empty. That caught stealing was a big part of that game.
Yeah.
Or that bottom of the first inning, Stone throwing out a runner. He's the catcher. Fouled off.
Well, there was nothing to delay him from throwing it to second base, Don, on that play. I mean, the runner on third was anchored. There was no fake bunt. There was no fake squeeze. You know, it was stealing the man on first and 1 out. So the catcher just grabbed it and threw it. The pitcher made a nice decoy, which is flaying his glove at it as if he was going to try to cut it off.
0-2 pitch hit past the dive of the first baseman, Zadian, and that's going to be ruled a foul ball.
Very close. And then you see the home plate umpire walking over to get the bat. You know. Nice gesture.
Absolutely.
Hand it to the batter.
It's Matt Stone behind the plate. Harris is 80 in the first baseman. Ben Shatman at second. Andrew Moy at shortstop defensively for Westport. You got Chris Benarusso at the bag at third. Tom Quigley playing left field. And pitch down low for a ball. Chris Drabel in center and Kevin Lindwall playing right field. And Drabel not playing all that deep and a shade of the bit towards right center field. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So Olnick is gone. He strikes out. Goes down swinging.
First strike out for the game for Portman. Lefty against lefty.
The designated hitter, number 3, Cole Needman.
So Needman will step in, the designated hitter. Cole swinging from the right side. A lot of pride in Middletown baseball. A lot of pride in this ballpark, in this community.
Did a great job with the renovations done. Had a pleasure coaching 2 games this year in the tournament.
Absolutely. A state championship going to Seymour. You were down the field on that first base side.
All the teams that won this year were the first base.
Well, you know something? I don't pick up that little bits of trivia stuff. I was here for all the games.
Yeah.
I'll have to make a mental note of that and bring it up next year. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
And only one team came back from, the other team having the lead to win. We were the only team to do that.
That's right. That was a fun team to watch, your team there. And the 1-2 missed outside. Count goes level, 2-2 to Needman. 1 out, nobody on. The boys still basking in the glory of that state championship. They'll certainly never forget it.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the rings now. They're not in yet.
2-2 pitch might have been foul tip. It was into the catcher's mitt. Stone holds on. Second consecutive strikeout for Portman. So now 2 down and the base is empty.
First baseman number 15, A.J. Kleszkowski.
So Kleszkowski stepping in.
Another lefty.
He'll swing at the first pitch and roll it foul. First base way. He was trying to yank that out of the ballpark right there, perhaps. If you get it up into that wind stream out towards left center field, it could fly for a couple of days.
Well, with the shallowness the outfielders are playing down, you don't even have to do that. If you get it over their head, it could be rolling forever. With that 400-foot sign out there.
Count quickly 0-2. Kleszkowski trying to get something brewing here for Middletown in the bottom of inning number 2. Trailing 2-0. 2 runs on 2 hits for Westport. And it's down low. Count goes 1-2. Lemaggetti in the on-deck circle. Portman to deal it, the left-hander. And he'll get the strike 3 call. He strikes out the side. Very impressive half inning of work by Jack Portman. We'll be back with a top of 3. Westport with the lead 2-0 over Middletown here on the road at Palmer Field in Middletown.
SportingNewsCT.com is now streaming your team's big games. SportingNewsCT.com is Connecticut's broadcast home for high school sports, college sports, and American Legion baseball. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, hockey, baseball, softball, or lacrosse, we stream it live. Can't watch the game live? Then check out our on-demand rebroadcast. Want a keepsake? Download an audio broadcast or order a DVD. There's more. SportingNewsCT.com features interviews with coaches, players, and administrators. The game's on. SportingNewsCT.com. Sporting News CT.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
All right, right back here at Palmer Field in Middletown. We move on to the top of inning number 3. Top of the order, leading things off, Chris Drabel. Drabel was sitting up there thinking probably RBIs when he came to the plate, but the 2 runners consecutively picked off by Lenahan, and he was left there holding bat in hand.
Back at Palmer Field,
He walked his first time, stole a couple of bases, and scored a run. And now he lines one in the left field in the what-ifs, I guess, if you're in the dugout on the Westport side of things.
It always happens. It always happens. That time he took a curveball that was actually outside. The ball hung up there slow, so gave him a chance to actually yank the ball to left field.
That's going to bring up Tommy Quigley. Walked and scored. Stole a base back in the first inning. We got Matt Stone in the on-deck circle. Part of the batting order that can do some damage. Lenahan from the stretch. He'll twist and throw to first. "32 teams started this tournament, Steve, and they're starting to go to the wayside.
Getting eliminated, yeah.
Including last year's state champion Stanford.
That's surprising.
Lost to Brantford yesterday to be eliminated. Brantford, a team we haven't heard from in recent years, but they had an outstanding Legion program, and they still do. For many years, they were a state champion, a representative.
Well, you never know. You get some teams, Don, that could be like a middle-of-the-pack team that didn't have their entire team together. Kids went on vacation or something, and all of a sudden at the end, everybody's back. You never know.
Strike call over the outside corner to Quigley.
I remember the year that Guilford, that forfeited 9 games, still made the tournament. So they got in there. They'd made some damage.
Another throw over, scrambling back with Drabel. He lost his footing there just ever so slightly, but he dug his way back to the bag. Lenahan will come to the plate. Got the strike call over the outside corner.
Well, there's the slide step, Don. You know, slide step is very difficult to get the jump that you want.
I believe Windsor and Willimantic are playing one of the pod games today.
Colin playing today as well?
Let me see who they have left. I'll miss the entire game looking for it. Yeah, Colin's playing today.
Yeah, playing today.
Taking on Waterford. Another throw to the bag at first, and again, Drabel just scrambled back. Pitch to the plate, Drabel goes, and it's off the catcher, foul back.
Yeah, that time he allowed Drabel to have just too big of a lead. Somebody should have just told him to step off, because even if he slide stepped, Drabel was going to have it stolen.
Count 0-2 now to Quigley. Bimbligetti getting a little extra time. That may have stung a little bit. I got to give him a little extra time, a lot of extra time. Plate umpire walking Lenahan back to the top of the hill. He's starting to settle down after that rocky start in the first. Got a couple of strikeouts in the second, 3 overall. He's walked 3, 2 have scored. Leadoff single here by Drabel. He takes his lead away from the bag at first. Again, they'll throw that way. Going to lengthen the game a little bit too, Steve.
The other thing that the pitcher can do, Lenahan, is hold the ball. It's very effective against base stealers. Hold it.
Little bluff to go, and Quigley swings at a pitch perhaps out of the strike zone, and that's the 4th strikeout for Lenahan as he changed him up there a little bit. That high pitch. So Matty Stone to the plate, drove home a pair of runs with a base hit in his first plate appearance. He's up for the second time with 1 down. Time call?
Yep, time call by the batter that time, given to him by home plate umpire.
Azadian in the on-deck circle. Lenahan peeks at the runner. That's fouled off the catcher again.
Yep. Well, you know, holding the baseball down is very effective against the runner because he tends to start to sink after a while. The other thing is if the batter knows he's going, he may not call timeout. And then he gets held in for like more than 4 seconds staring at a pitcher. So it could work as an advantage both ways for the pitcher.
Yeah, runner starts to sink it off their toes a little bit, right back on their heels
and
somewhat.
then throw it over.
Yeah. Another throw to the bag at first.
You know, had him leaning, he just didn't have a big enough lead to get him.
Count 0-1. This has kind of slowed down Lenahan, too. He's not as frantic as he was back in the first inning, although he was very deliberate in the first.
Yeah, he knew he was going.
Runner goes, pitch up high, throw on down by Flamaghetti, and it's going to be Tardy.
Yep.
Tardy fielded it, but another stolen base, third of the ball game for Chris Drabel.
See, you could tell once that lead went beyond the edge of the grass, that arc in front of first base of grass, and once his lead went beyond that, you knew he was going. All they had to do there is somebody tell him to step off.
I'm a little bit envious. Some of the fans here have brought some good-looking food into the stadium. Arian Wazinski, who was the former commander, you might remember, of American Legion here in the state of Connecticut, in attendance, along with Chuck Berry. Good to see the dynamic duo in attendance once again. Two wonderful people that have done a lot for American Legion and American Legion baseball for decades. Also served our country.
Yeah.
Count 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Stone.
Maybe she's bringing you up a Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Wow,
she's
that
coming
would be
up this way.
That'd be awesome. I saw that thing and I was envious.
I think she is.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Chuck probably told her to bring it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Time call. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I thought you were bringing that up for Don.
Really? Seriously. Thank you.
It is, see? See?
Thank you.
I know, yeah. That curveball goes down and away. I know.
Perfect.
2 balls and 2, 3 and 2 now.
It is 3 and 2.
Full count.
Beautiful night for baseball.
See, he spotted you.
I saw
way
you
over there
up
with the coffee.
and I'm going, wow, that looks really good. So I'm very excited about that. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes. A runner down at the bag is second, and Lenahan is going to throw down to the bag there at second base.
Not Saturday. Not Saturday? No, I'm going to get all my homework done on Saturday so I can make Sundays. Yeah. I won't be here tomorrow. It'll be a 3-2 runner going.
That pitch fouled straight back.
Yeah, that time, Don, even though the runner was going, he had no choice but to swing it. It was too close.
Well, Stone, his first time, as we mentioned, had that 2-run base hit. Count now full 3 and 2. You know, this is the guy he's got to get right here.
Yeah,
he might be their most dangerous hitter.
He's probably going to try one of those spin moves again, as he picked off one runner on the spin move. And
Lenahan checks a runner down at second. Now he'll deal it. 3-2 pitch. Curveball breaks away from the catcher. It's going to be ball 4. No advance by Drabel. Now you got runners at first and second. And then Russo stepping up to the plate.
So Zadian, I think, is coming up. Struck out his last time up.
Okay, that's right. There's Zadian to the plate. So Zadian, as you mentioned, struck out his first time. So runners at first and second.
Yeah, walked the guy who got the 2 RBIs and pitched to the guy who struck out.
Maybe not a bad recipe for success. Missed outside with ball 1. 2-0. Westport scored 2 in the first. We're here in the top of inning number 3. David Greenleaf in attendance here today, too.
Yes.
Mr. Berry sitting down in row 1. How'd he get that beautiful box seat down there? Pitch inside, nearly clipped him.
Clipped him, yeah.
Zadian get out of the way. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes.
They haven't seen each other yet.
They haven't?
No. Haven't seen each other yet. That's comical.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Lenahan. Got the strike call, maybe a favorable hometown strike call on that one.
A little bit in.
Inside, maybe a little high. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Zadian looking for an RBI with a base hit, with Drabel possessing all that speed down at the bag at second. Here comes the pitch and breaks away from the catcher, and both runners will advance. It was low and away, but I really thought that should have been handled by the catcher. I'm going to go pass ball.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know how
didn't
you
hit the
see it.
ground,
Yeah.
so should have just had it. Now he does what they didn't want to do.
So Azadian has 2 in scoring position. The infield will come in around the horn.
And a 3-1 pitch.
2 runs on 3 hits now for Westport. Time call. And Maggette, for about the 5th time today, going out to have a conversation with Sean Lenahan.
Well, he might very well have spotted. They're going to intentionally walk him anyway.
So they take care of the cleanup hitter the best they can. They walk him. So the intentional walk will load the bases. Now Veneruso to the plate. Hit a fly ball out his first time to the left fielder. Hit it shallow left.
Number 2, Chris Veneruso.
He got Moy in the on-deck circle. Westport trying to break this game wide open. Well, they got a chance at a double play, got an out at every base. You don't have to bring the infield in.
Wooden bats is a lot harder to turn double plays in the infield.
True.
The ball doesn't get out there quick enough, especially after rain.
That pitch popped up in the infield. Infield fly rule in effect coming on.
Don't even have to catch it.
Zakowski, and he'll make the catch for the out.
That's a big out.
You know, when you get that infield fly rule opportunity, you should probably take your hat off, try to catch it in your hat. And
No, I know. Yeah. Just don't want to knock the ball around somewhere.
That's right.
Well, sometimes you can catch a team not knowing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you catch a guy running, but then you catch your own guys asleep because they don't realize they have to tag them.
Here's Moy coming up to the plate. Count goes 1 ball and no strikes. One ball, no strike, 2 out. Base is loaded for Westport. That pitch tried to spin back over and miss. The count goes 2 balls and no strikes here. Outfield just about straight away. Dixon is the center fielder. Not playing all that deep. Outfielders have not been playing deep at all for either one of these teams here. As Lenahan is high. That pitch up high again. Count goes 3-0. The wind feels nice, but that's actually a fan behind us.
Yeah.
That pitch is outside ball 4, and that's going to bring home a run. Moy will get an RBI standing there. And now Westport jumps out to a 3-0 lead.
Well, that's the other side of the strategy, Don. I mean, you walk the guy, get the bases loaded, and you always risk walking a hitter with the bases loaded.
Here's Ben Shatman of the plate. Shatman, a right-handed hitter. Lenahan's pitch, a little high ball 1.
Isn't that how Amity won a state championship a couple years ago? They intentionally walked the guy, and then they walked the. It was a walk-off.
Notre Dame, I think, wasn't it? Notre Dame, West Haven, similar situation.
Yeah.
They got some activity now in that Middletown bullpen.
Yeah, he was up before though, so it shouldn't take him all that long.
I got homework to do. I'm in the master's program. I have class tomorrow. I have a paper to finish.
Where are you taking this?
Goodwin.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah. First cohort ever taken. Yeah. We're the guinea pigs. So, yeah.
What's the master's in?
Management.
And Lenahan comes set. And the 1-0 pitch is up high, nearly beamed the batter, so it's 2-0.
No, I think it's wonderful. It's great.
To Chapman, who struck out looking his first time up.
Thanks for the coffee.
You are so welcome. Wait till I tell Chuck that.
As the runners straddle off the bases, and here's the 2-0. There's a strike.
All right. Three nothing, Steve. Base is still loaded. Base hit, you presume, would bring home a couple, although the outfielder's not playing all that deep. Hit it over the head, and everybody's going to score.
Yeah, now he's back 3-1 now on the next hitter. It's like send him up there without a bat. He still may win.
Lenahan awaits, and he'll throw down to the bag at second. Cardi was covering the bag, but runner gets on back.
Yeah, I thought he was going to try some kind of play when the last batter was up, especially when it was 3-1 on that batter.
Arzadian with a very big lead from that bag at second right now. Lenahan, the 3-1 pitch. Got to get it over, and that's going to be fouled off.
Now the runners will be going, so anything in the gap could score 3.
Count full 3-2. They lead from all the bags. Outfielders straight away. Lenahan with a glove high. Checks a runner at third. Deals a 3-2. And he got him to pop up. Lenahan off the mound, in front of the mound. He'll make the catch, and he somehow survives all that. That was a big pop out and an out. Chapman now 0 for 2. Bases left loaded. A run did score and a bases loaded walk. So 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave 3 on the bases. We're back with the bottom of 3 right here on SportingNewsCT.com after this.
President Roosevelt signs Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Well, Steve, it's one of those games where Middletown is hanging around by the thinnest of strings, trailing 3-0 to Westport to the bottom of the third.
It's rare that you give up 6 walks in a game. One of them was intentional with 5 walks and 3 innings, and you're only down 3-0. So it's one other way to look at it.
And 5 stolen bases.
Yeah. You get a couple guys on, and the base hit is 3-2, right?
Portman very confident in the second when he was out there working for Westport. He struck out the side. Van McGletty to lead it off. He's the catcher. LeMay then the top of the order for Middletown. So second time through, and who knows what can happen here. Big fastball swing and a miss by Van McGletty. Up for the first time in the contest. That pitch just missed outside. The count goes 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just a little bit of a 2-seam spin on that thing, and umpire called it a ball.
Ryan, 6'1", 150. Out of Sacred Heart University now. Graduated from high school in 2017. That pitch missed outside. Beautiful school, Sacred Heart.
Oh, yeah.
I get a chance to call a couple of hockey games for him every year.
Sacred Heart?
Yeah,
it's great.
Here comes the 2-1. They play Division I hockey. They play inside that beautiful arena in Bridgeport, and about 4 people show up for the games. It's so sad. Well, you got Quinnipiac and you got Yale.
I've seen the end of a Sacred Heart game once when I went to watch Quinnipiac play there once, I think, against Yale.
Here's the 3-1 off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. Now it's 3-1, 3-2.
3-2 now.
Okay. Where was I? You had to be thinking hockey.
You were thinking hockey?
I was thinking hockey.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch. And that's ball 4. Usually I predict the future when I speak too soon, but not that time. That's a walk. Van Leggetti becomes a leadoff base runner. Second walk issued in the game by Portman. He struck out 3, and Tyler LeMay to the plate, the third baseman.
Third baseman, number 13.
We're bringing you 17U baseball today, too, Fairfield and Hamden. Aiden Blank helping us out with that. Sophomore in high school.
Where are they playing that game?
I think it's in Hamden. Could be in Hamden.
Hamden High or over at
I don't know.
Legion Field, maybe?
I don't know. You'd love to ask me questions I don't know the answer to. Here comes the 1-0 pitch inside. I'm going to make you write down every question you want to ask me during the broadcast so I can be well prepared for you. I can tell you right away. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. Tad high. I don't know if I can give you any scores or anything like that. Fairfield and Hamden playing at Hamden High School. Day one of the 17-under tournament. Yeah. So Portman, who struck out the side, walks the first batter he faces here. Now against LeMay, he's behind 3 balls and 1 strike. And that's high, and he walks 2 consecutive. His 3rd walk overall. Now you got runners at first and second and nobody out.
And that's going to bring out the coach from Westport. Well, if anything, you're running up Portman's pitch count.
They're going to come out and have a quick chat with him here.
Yeah. The only, I guess if they did ever change pitchers, I would imagine they're coming from the field, right? Because I don't think they have, if they have anybody on the bench who pitches.
Head coach is Jeff Love. Got 2 assistants, Johnny Dorman and Jason Ruggiero. Mike Lindwall is the general manager. A big opportunity for Middletown now, trailing on the scoreboard 3-0. Petrozello stepping in. He walked, advanced on an error.
Probably going to bunt him, you would think. They're not going to walk Garofalo to walk the winning run on. I mean, the tying run on.
Garofalo in the on-deck circle. Azadian inside the bag and on the grass at first, and the first pitch in there for the strike.
I guess after 2 walks in a row, you give him and take a pitch. Force him to throw a strike to the smaller strike zone, and he gets it done.
Petrozello does have some pretty good speed. If he lays down a bunt here, Steve, would be a challenge for a fielder. He'll swing away, and the count quickly 0-2. That was a big, heavy swing at that one.
There's a big gap down between short and third as the third baseman's playing close to the bag.
Outfield remains just about straight away. Portman would love a strikeout. 0-2 pitch, and that's spoiled off.
Yeah.
Hit the hut tin roof here at Farmer Field.
Bounce back in. Umpire will check it, I'm sure.
Of course, we're inside the newly named Jim and Dana Bransfield press box.
Okay. Yeah.
Jim, long-time public address announcer here.
This is my first game here, broadcasting without Jim around. It's
the 0-2 pitch. Petrozello did a nice job holding off. He had a notion to go after that pitch, but was not overzealous. One-two. Nice stop by Stone.
He's faking it.
Yep.
Nice fake by the catcher. Trying to fake the base runners to moves. He made out like he was running after the ball.
Well, you know what? He was a lead in the school play 2 years ago. And
yeah, I know. Yeah.
And now can he sing? That's the question.
It's hard. I guess if you're in a field that has a drop-down area, you might get away with it.
2-2 pitch, and that's a strike 3 call. And again, that off-speed pitch by Portman.
Yeah.
Kind of a lazy curveball almost.
Yeah.
Hard to describe it. And Petrozello will go back to the dugout. That is the 4th strikeout for Portman in the ball game.
Well, Garofalo, you got to see if he can get a hold of one here. He can tie the game up with one swing of the bat.
So you go 1 down and 2 on. Pitch hit
nice
up
hard
the middle and through in the right center field for Garofalo, and they'll hold the runner at the bag at third as Drabel got to it and throws it to the cutoff as Azadian. Well, he wasted no time going after the first pitch, and that loads him up.
Yeah, Garofalo's a good hitter. He's the kind of guy you really don't want to pitch to if you can help it.
Brings up Dixon.
Center fielder, number 4, Tim Dixon.
Good chance now for Dixon. The University of Hartford. And the pitch to the plate, and Portman down low, ball 1. Here in the third. Game started about an hour and 4 minutes ago at 5:30. Outfield just about straight away. Dribble very shallow in center. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Hit on the ground, pass a dive to the third baseman. Then Russo, 1 run will score. Ball fielded by Quigley and hustled back into the infield as he zings a throw to the bag at third. That's an RBI single for Dixon, and that's consecutive base hits. First 2 of the ball game, by the way, for Middletown here today. RBI Dixon.
Yeah, he got a good piece of wood on that one as he ripped it down the left field line. Actually, because that left fielder's playing so shallow, there's no chance to score a runner from second.
So Middletown is on the board. Bases remain loaded. But just 1 out. Carty, fly ball out to the center fielder his first time. This time he flares one up the middle in the center field for a base hit. Boy, they had the runner at second base, but a little hesitation by Drabel. They could have got a force out at second, and a little hesitation. Very interesting, another run on the board.
I mean, you may remember, Don, when we were in Bristol, we saw a force out at first base from the right fielder. We saw a force out at second base by the center fielder. Right that time, the center fielder could have easily thrown that ball to second base, and at least they got the second out.
Yeah, Dixon really hesitated, did not read the flight of that ball well at all, and he was easy prey.
Yeah.
So now Rulnick to the plate. He struck out his first time.
Yeah, 3 hits in a row.
Now we got a 3-2 ball game here in the bottom of the third in this loser's bracket matchup. Winner remains in the tournament. The loser, their season comes to a quick halt. Pitch in there for the strike to the left-handed hitting right fielder. You got Needman in the on-deck circle. And that hit him. And a run will score. Rolnick down to the bag at first. You could hear the thud up here. He's got hands made out of wood.
And just like that, the game is tied. Both walks have scored.
Garofalo, he crosses home plate. And that'll be an RBI as Needman steps in. This game brand new and shiny, tied at 3. You got to think, what does Westport have left and on their pitching staff? And they're undermanned today in the dugout. Only a couple of guys. I guess a few players, I heard the rumor, were out at some football practice or something like that.
There is a player down the right field line stretching, but he's not throwing anybody. There's no catcher out there.
No one to throw to. There's a ground ball is short. They get the out the bag at second on the first, and that's a snazzy double play. Moy, Shatman, Azadian, and boy, did they need that. 6, 4, and 3. But the game is brand new. 3 up on the board for Middletown. We're back with the top of the 4th right after this on SportingNewsCT.com. Stay with us. We got a good one brewing.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
All right, we're right back here at Palmer Field. Don Boyle, my buddy Steve Riley alongside as we get into the swing of American Legion playoff baseball, Steve. And we'll be busy over the next couple of days, and we get Thursday off, and then back at it with the Super Regionals over the weekend, and the championship weekend the following weekend.
There should be some great baseball.
Looking forward to it. Championship weekend, August 3rd through 5th. We'll bring out the mighty equipment. We'll be in Meriden, too. Have instant replay, couple of different camera angles for you, post-game interviews, and a whole lot more.
Well, this looks like it's going to be a game of attrition tonight.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. So Kevin Lindwall to lead it off. He singled and stolen the base and caught stealing. So it's been eventful for the right fielder, number 8 guy in the lineup for this Westport team. On the hand, he's looking at a brand new scoreboard now. Each team with 3 runs on 3 hits.
Some activity still in the bullpen down there. In the Middletown bullpen. Down in Westport bullpen, there's nobody catching whoever it is that's still stretching down there in the right field line.
Haven't had a real hard hit ball here tonight.
No, there've been a couple that are up the middle, but nothing pulled hard. That last one down the third baseline was hit pretty well.
Pitching there for the strike call. Count goes 1-2.
No line drives in the gap, put it that way.
No, nothing like that. And with that wind, I'm waiting for one.
I know.
Light activity down in that Middletown bullpen, if you didn't mention it. Pitch missed outside. Maybe you did mention it. Did you mention that?
Yeah.
My mind was elsewhere.
On hockey.
I'm doing double duty tonight. I'm doing the graphics. I took you off that
That's
roll.
True. Yeah,
give you a little break.
I messed it up.
No, you do a good job.
Try to do that.
You do a great
stuff.
job with that. I mess it up myself. I make it easier. I just pretend it's broken. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. My favorite time of year watching these American Legion players compete. It's kind of interesting. You watch every round and you watch the quality of play just increase. I mean, these guys play so many games in a short period of time, but they kind of live up to the moment, don't they? That pitch missed outside, and that's ball 4 and a leadoff walk, and Lindwall down to the bag at first. That is, I believe, the 5th walk issued in the ball game. 6th walk. 7th walk?
Yeah, 7th walk. One of them was intentional, though.
I can't count that high. That's a lot of walks. Greer to the plate. So Lenahan, they talked to him, and that's going to be all for Lenahan.
Yep.
So with the pitching change, we'll step aside and just rest the vocal cords for just a moment. We'll be back with more after this.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.com.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American
Thank
Legion.
you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
What was the winner play?
All right, welcome right back as we continue on. Don Boyle, Steve Riley, Michael Grabori going through his warm-ups out on the mound. Steve asked me a question. The winner will play North Haven.
Okay. Well, if you're North Haven, you're certainly happy about the fact that teams have to go deep into their bullpens. Because if you throw more than 30 pitches, right, according to American Legion rules, you cannot pitch the next day. So Westport leading the freebie game by a score of 7-4, but the game is still tied at 3-3. Middletown has walked 7 batters, one of them intentionally, and Westport's pitcher has walked 3 but hit 1.
So here's Greer up for the second time in the ball game. Got picked off after walking to get on. Top of the order, and Drabel on deck. A little soft toss to the bag at first and a belly flop back by Lindwall.
I don't think that Gabori realized he didn't have to throw it once he stepped off the rubber, as he just tried to lob that one over.
So Gabori trying to keep things just as they are through the top of the 4th inning.
Last time he was on, Lindwald also stole second base. See if they send him at some point.
Gabori holds that glove high. That pitch over for the strike. Had a little movement on that fastball.
Yeah, that was a good hard fastball there by Gabori, and also a nice quick delivery to the plate. It's going to be difficult to steal off him.
Lindwall leaning a bit towards the bag at second, trying to hold him tight there is Kleskowski. They'll throw that way. Another soft toss over. Maybe trying to set him up.
Well, why waste your arm if you're not going to be able to pick him off on the toss?
Count 0-2. Gabori looking in. Long sign there by Famagetti, and the pitch popped up. Foul territory. No room, however, for the third baseman LeMay. Had hopes of climbing the fence, but the sign says, do not climb this fence.
You know, Don, this year when we played Caukenchog, who some of their players play for Middletown, you know, the team would, whenever we threw over the first, they would say, not his best. And then they would say, then their bench would get up and say, we hope. I don't know. The entire time. That's how they would say it over and over.
Gabori again checks the runner. Here comes the 0-2, and that fastball spoiled off. A lot of wrist movement on that fastball by Gabori. You see that? Really flips it.
Yeah, nice quick delivery, a little sidearm action here. Hey, we have somebody loosening up in that Westport bullpen.
Who's he playing catch with down there?
Yeah, I know. There is somebody there. He's not a catcher, though. And they don't have anybody protecting the pitcher.
Well, all the players are in the dugout, so
yeah, right.
They can find an extra player to go on.
So.
Yeah.
No mask on the catcher. So it's not really a catcher down there.
We were in South Windsor, remember a couple years ago where a team only had 9 and the poor right fielder broke his arm or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a strike 3 call to Greer. Beautiful pitch by Gabori.
Yeah, and they left him out there, right? They had to leave him out there?
Yeah. No, they ended up forfeiting the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they forfeited the game. Here's Drabel.
Center fielder.
I think it happened to Oxford one year. They left the guy out right center, just near the fence somewhere.
So Gabori going to try to tame Drabel. This guy has done a pretty good job here today. He's walked and scored, singled and scored.
Stole 3 bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lenahan is responsible for that runner at first, by the way. He walked Lindwall to start the inning. If Gabori gets through this half inning without any harm done, it'd be his game to win or lose for Middletown. 1-1 pitch, missed outside. And the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, the home plate umpire hasn't really given that outside corner to the right-handed pitchers. Or to the left-handed pitcher. He didn't give it to Portman either. Broken
Pitch
bat.
flared, foul, first base side. And how much one of those wooden bats cost, Mr. Riley?
About $100. It looks like a D. Marini. Yeah. Hopefully he just bought it because I think they have only some of them only have 30-day guarantees. Well, this year you can use a composite, right? You can use a BB Core composite bat if you want to.
Tommy Quigley in the on-deck circle.
Remember how much controversy we had in the playoffs a few years back
Wow.
over the use of BB Core wood?
Lindwall trying to measure that lead away. Gabori certainly aware he's there. 2-2 the count. He'll come to the plate. Missed outside. And the count goes full 3-2.
Let's see if they run the runner to stay out of the DP.
Outfield just about straight away. Dixon, the center fielder. And Gabori taking a look at that runner at first. Lindwall and the pitch. Runner goes, and it's fouled off. Nice job by Drabel to stay on that baseball. Mentioned it earlier. This Westport team made up of some of those little leaguers that had that terrific run in Little League World Series a couple years ago. Put Westport on the map. The throw down on a swing and a miss, and that's going to be a rolling stolen base there by Lindwall. I'm not going to give him any points in the slide.
Yeah, I thought there would have been an interference on that, Don. As the batter
On
struck
the
out, he
swing?
started walking.
Yeah.
No, he started walking across the plate right in front of the catcher. I mean, maybe it's only because there was no contact between the two of them they didn't call it, but otherwise that could have been
That's
the
a second strikeout for Gabori since he's come in, Steve.
Yeah.
And 6 overall for the team. That was a key strikeout. And Quigley has walked and struck out today. It is warm and muggy tonight.
Yeah.
I like this weather. I'm not complaining.
I thought you liked the sunny weather. Oh, they
I like sunny weather.
Spin move gets another one.
And let's see if they get him, and they will. The tag is made by LeMay.
Yeah.
Well, Gabori spins. Garofalo runs him down. LeMay puts a tag on him. So that will go 1, 6, and 5. Well, they pick off 3 here in the ball game. That has certainly helped the cause of Middletown today. We're back with a bottom of 4 right after these messages on SportingNewsCT.com.
They're running themselves out.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out.
All right, welcome right back as we move on. Bottom of inning number 4. And if you're Middletown, you got to be pleased. You've overcome a 3-run deficit to knot things up with 3 on the wall back in the third. 3-3 your score. And leading things off here is Kleskowski. Kleskowski, the first baseman, struck out his first time. 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order. Coming to the plate here for Middletown, Steve.
Yeah, lefty on lefty. Struck out last time up, did Mr. Kleskowski.
And he'll lob this one over the head of the shortstop. Quigley racing on in, couldn't get there in time. And that's a lob single by Kleskowski. So nice job there. Pam Leggetti stepping up to the plate, who walked and scored back in that 3-run third inning. This is the third of 4 innings. The leadoff guy's been on base now for Middletown.
See if they try to bunt them over.
They are now out hitting Westport 4-3. Portman checks a runner at first. The lefty will soft toss on over. He doesn't waste much energy throwing to the bag at first at all. They'll have a 17U game played here tomorrow. They show bunt pulled back.
Yeah, he's going to have to bunt to the right side if he does. That third baseman was right on top of him.
And Veneruso. See that on our GoPro shot. Bringing you the tighter infield view versus more of the outfield for this occasion. And the pitch, strike call, and the count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on here in the bottom of the 4th. This Palmer Field in Middletown has hosted an American Legion World Series in the past, many other top-level events.
I don't know what it was there. It looks like Portman there pretty disgusted about something. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
We're just about midway through this game. We could set the record for longest 7-inning ball game ever played.
Perhaps.
The way they're going down. So the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, he did what he was supposed to do. You know, pull back on a ball. He only bunt strikes. He's not going to pop that thing up. That ball was in his eyes.
Here comes the 2-1. That ball hit hard in the left field for a base hit. So they had an interesting configuration around the infield, and all Tim Ligeti did was smash it right through.
Yeah, that was a slash. It's called a fake bunt slash. Just pull the bat back and smack it. But there was a lot of gap there between short and third anyway, but I think that would have been a base hit no matter what. Now you're going to bunt him down.
So now runners at first and second for LeMay. LeMay walked and scored, chose bunt, charging from first. Azadian, and the ball will go through in the center field on a throw down by Stone.
Yeah, they're just hoping he just threw it down normal, though, like as if the pitcher was going to get it and just let it go through. Maybe that's a
set play.
Set play, yeah.
Kliskowski down the bag at second. LeMay at the plate. Lemaggetti at first. Pitch over the outside corner for the strike. That is a nice pitch by Portman.
Yeah, he pitched it where he had to, too, though, because it's tough. The batter wants to bunt it to the third base side because the third baseman's anchoring. They're rotating on the right side. He doesn't want to bunt it to the first baseman.
Portman into the windup, and the 1-1. And it's popped up and bunted to the backstop, the screen backstop, which we certainly appreciate here at Palmer Field.
Yeah.
I hate those chain link backstops that are poles about as round in diameter as a basketball.
That time the batter down started to run. You know, you're sack bunting. You got to stay in that box till it get down angle.
Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. A pitch to the plate, and that just missed outside. Portman wanted the strike call, did not get it.
Well, the umpire hasn't been calling that a strike the whole game. You know,
That's
in
right.
fairness to the ump there, he hasn't been calling that spot on strike. So.
And the pitch hit on a little soft liner. They get just one out, getting on back to the bag at second. Kliskowski just got back there. So Moy caught it.
Yeah.
And Kliskowski just wasn't hit hard enough to really get him.
No.
Little humpback whale there. Got a right hump.
Yeah.
Hump liner.
He's lucky he didn't have a big lead on that play.
Petrozello stepping up to the plate now. He's walked and struck out. 1 out and 2 on. Swings, hits one up the middle, and it's knocked down by the shortstop Moy. It will be recorded as a base hit.
Infield 1B on that one. Just smacked it up the middle enough to get it through off the edge of the shortstop's glove.
So now the bases are loaded with just 1 down.
There's nowhere to put Luke Garofalo, a dangerous hitter for this Middletown team, and that left fielder is just awfully shallow.
Had a base hit back on the third.
Yeah, and they're actually giving him that gap right where he hit the ball before, too.
And the pitch low and away. Stone, nice play on the backhand side to stop it.
You might remember, Don, he hit it base hit to the middle, but it was to the right of second base.
That's
and
right.
Now the second baseman's playing way over as if he's a weak side hitter.
Here comes the 1-0, and that's going to be shot foul on a line towards the bullpen down that right field line. So you got 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Outfield not playing deep. Wind blowing. Pretty good out towards left center field, and the bases loaded. Westport had the bases loaded back, and the third came up with just 1 run. And that pitch just missed inside. And the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I mean, that center fielder's awful shallow.
He really is shallow. Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that's inside for a ball. And the count goes 3 balls, 1 strike.
I'm not sure what college Garofalo's going to, Don, but I remember a lot of scouts were looking at him, especially for his pitching prowess. He was a shortstop for Caukenchog this year. Great player.
And the pitch. And he'll dribble that one, rolling in the foul territory. And Russo quickly gobbles it up and
it's a swinging
foul
bunt.
play.
(3-2), nowhere to put him. Runners can't be going because they're 1 out. There is a pitcher warming up. He has been down there, stretching his arm out, and he's a side armor. Can't see his number.
Batting average at about 400 on the season. So he's been pretty good. Pitch, hits it towards the gap, right center field. That's going to roll and roll and roll towards the warning track. 1 will score, 2 will score, 3 will cross. Garofalo looking for a stand-up triple. He hit it past him to where they aren't, and boy, that's 3 on the board as Garofalo delivers.
Close that time by Petrozello. Did he touch third base before he scored? But see if they try to appeal that. But in any event, Luke Garofalo, as we said, Don, he's such a great hitter, and they had him play just too shallow. They must not have had enough knowledge about the young man. He drives in 3.
So now a 6-3 score in favor of Middletown here. Here's Dixon at the plate. He has singled home a run. Also reach on a fielder's choice. That was a play in which they tried to get the guy at the runner at the runner at third base there.
Yeah.
Hit Petrozello in the back with a throw.
Yeah, and Portman is still complaining. He thinks that's a strike.
Portman's left-handed pitch. Snaps it over the outside corner, and the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike to Dixon.
Close enough.
Center field for Middletown. Got a runner at third. Garofalo with a short lead away into foul territory, as he should. Benarusso playing on the infield grass at third base as they're in all the way around.
I'll tell you, it's the recipe for disaster when you pitch into the other team's 3-hitter at 3-1. And you got the infield up. Oof.
Second consecutive inning, they've scored 3 times. That's a foul ball off the foot of Tim Dixon. That hurt. May have gone off the top of the foot.
Yeah, the umpire at home plate finally said it was a foul ball, although the base umpire did say it early enough.
Skies are lightening a little bit. And that's ball 4, and they walk him. So that's going to put him on the corners, and Portman working here into the 4th inning through a lot of pitches. Gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. He'll be responsible for 2 batters. With a pitching change upcoming, Steve will step aside for just a moment. We'll be back with more right here on SportingNewsCT.com. Stay with us.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
Connor Carty to lead things off here as we come back from break, and that ball bound in the foul territory. Runners at first and third. Second consecutive 3-run inning put together here by Middletown, and they lead it 6-3 as Alex Chima seeing his first bit of action here in this one. Bottom of the fourth. Ground ball hit up off his glove. Could be trouble. They'll throw to the bag at second there. It's an alert play by Chapman. They get the man in the middle, and a run will score. Garofalo from the bag at third. Dixon retired.
Yeah, the important thing is that run scores. You know, that play, if the pitcher didn't touch it, it might have been 2. The inning might have been over.
So 7-3. Ball up the middle, swinging at the first pitch was Connor Olnick, and he's got himself a base hit. And those bats are really starting to heat up now. Got runners at first and second. And here's Needman to the plate. He's bounded into a 6-4-3 double play. And a strikeout on his resume tonight.
Number 3, Cole Needman.
And he lines one over the glove of Veneruso in the left field, and they're going to hold the runner. Cardi at the bag at third. Boy, he laced that to Needman. They have batted around here in the fourth seat.
Yeah, he ripped it and went right after that first fastball right there. The sidearm isn't fooling the Middletown hitters.
First baseman number 15.
10th batter of the inning coming up now for Middletown.
Klaskowski to the plate now. He has singled in 2 tries, scored a run. Trying to break this game wide open, swing and a miss.
Yeah, he chased that sidearm delivery. That looked like a little two-seam action. Had a little bit of tail on it at the end there.
Cheeman's pitch, a little slow roller. First baseman
hit him
will field it, and they're going to call that foul ball.
See, watching this game, Don, you have to sort of be like Manny Ramirez, this famous phrase. I look at nothing so I can see everything. That's when he said, that's what he said out. That's how he bats. You know?
The 0-2 pitch, it makes a lot of sense.
He says, when I look at the pitcher, I look at nothing so I can see everything. That's what he said. Funny philosophy, but he picks up a lot from his pitchers.
That pitch popped up, fouled off towards that new concourse area, picnic area might call it, out there beyond third base bag and beyond the fence, beyond the dugout, over by the delicious concession stand. The food inside the concession stand, I've never taken a nibble out of the concession stand wood, but it's been refurbished, redone, it's beautiful. Sidearm delivery, and that's going to be rolled foul down the right field line.
Well, Don, you were saying before that we hadn't seen any big hits in this game, and then Luke Garofalo changes everything with a bomb to right center, clearing the bases.
3-run triple, 4 runs home in the inning. 1 ball, 2 strike, 2 out, bases loaded, pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Changed him up there a little bit, and Klaskowski couldn't hold off, and that'll do it. 10 to the plate, 4 on the board, and 3 left. We'll be back with the top of 5. Middletown leads it 7-3.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day.
Welcome right back as we continue on to the 5th inning. And Tommy Quigley to lead things off here. He's walked and struck out, scored a run here today. Quigley, Stone, Arzedian scheduled to hit. Gabori came on in relief of Lenahan. It's his game to win, Steve.
Yep, he is, and he's got a 4-run lead now.
Pitch foul straight back.
Thanks to his shortstop, Luke Garofalo, and guys in front of him. I tell you, you can't say Middletown got freebies in that 3-run inning, or 4-run inning. So they had 4 hits in a row, right? 5 hits in a row, 6 hits in a row, rather.
They really walloped it.
Yep.
That pitch hit high in the air by Quigley. Floating on over the center fielder, and Timmy Dixon will put it away, and you have 1 down. That's the first rather routine fly ball hit to the outfield that I can remember today. Everything else has been rather shallow and alike. That was a little more routine. You do have some activity, light activity in that Middletown bullpen with Stone stepping up to the plate. He brought home a couple of runs with a base hit in the first. He's also walked, so 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs is the catcher. Pitch up and in.
What a turn of events, though, when you think about it, Don. Jack Portman had just struck out the side, comes out in the next inning, then walks 2 in a row, gives up 3 hits in a row, and then hits a guy. It's getting tied up. In the following inning, he just really falls apart.
It's going to be baseball tomorrow at Buckingham Park as Avon will host somebody. That to be determined here today. Winstead's going to play somebody. Either West Hartford or Niantic. That game being completed today. A lot of games started yesterday and were suspended.
It's a crazy weather day, just like today was. I'm surprised it hasn't really rained since the rain stopped here. And before the game, I would have thought it would just kept on going on and off, but it just sort of died out. The lights are on here at Palmer Field.
And the 3-1, and that's ball 4. Now you got a runner at first with 1 down. So Stone walks for the second time. Arzedian will step in. He was intentionally walked and struck out today, the cleanup hitter. Veneruso in the on-deck circle.
First baseman number 9, Harris Arzedian.
You got Moosop and Berlin. They played in game 1.
Game 1, yeah.
Berlin won 4-3.
4-3. Yeah, they're playing
in Sage Park tomorrow. RCP taking on the winner of Waterford Tolland. That game started a little bit later than this one. One ball, no strikes. Pitch a little high. Count goes 2-0.
Now I'll ask you another one of those questions that you may not know the answer to, but what's going on down there in Hamden? Get any texts back and forth?
No, I haven't checked in on that one.
All right.
That ball is going to be thrown down in the dirt. Will get away from Stone. I should say Stone gets down to second base, got away from Famagetti. Wild pitch on that one? Down the
Probably
dirt.
if it touched the dirt a little bit, I think there.
Wild pitch. So Arzedian way ahead in the count now. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, your team just scored 4, so Gabori, they don't want to give up too many freebies, and that's a second consecutive walk issue.
Oof.
I heard them back in the first. They gave up a couple of runs, due in fact to a couple of walks to start the inning.
13 walks in this game so far, down and 1 hit batter.
Veneruso.
Right.
Veneruso to the plate 0 for 2. Yep. See what Gabori can do here. Missed outside. I know that Hamden is playing Trumbull tomorrow at Hamden High School in senior play, Steve.
Okay.
I may head out there tomorrow, depending on the weather, because there is no.
They're playing at Trumbull or at Hamden?
They're playing at Hamden. Yeah. Gabori with that glove high, and that pitch over for the strike. Lenahan and Gabori working out of the stretch look similar when they start their
except
approach to the plate.
Gabori more of a sidearm.
Exactly.
There's over the top, so he mixed it up.
The initial set point up there, they both hold their glove up high. So the side of their face.
Both work off the first base side of the rubber, too.
Veneruso ahead in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch, and he'll take a strike, and the count goes full at 3-2. We got Brantford and Naugatuck playing tomorrow at Naugatuck High School. North Haven taking on the winner of Westport Middletown tomorrow. A game in North Haven, and that's ball 4. That's 3 consecutive walks.
Sheesh. And out goes Middletown coach to talk to Gabori.
So it's not going to be easy for Middletown. They open up a 4-run lead, and all of a sudden they're in a bit of a jam here.
So this is a game of attrition here. It's like
it really is.
It looks like he's going to leave him in 3 walks in a row.
Well, you know you're pitching again tomorrow, so you're trying to set that up the best you can.
Well, if you're going to warm a guy up at some point, I would imagine the guy down the left field line come in. There's no point warming him up if you're not going to bring him in, because you got a game tomorrow if you win. No game tomorrow if you lose.
Shortstop number 15, Andrew Moy.
So Moy will step in. He's popped up and walked with the bases loaded and got an RBI in the first pitch in for the strike.
You can't blame Moy for taking that pitch.
Count goes 0-1. A lead from all the bags with 1 out. Gabori gets strike 2. Count goes 0-2. Good pitch by Gabori.
I wonder what his coach said to him.
Get it over. Let him hit it. So Gabori again ready. The 0-2 pitch, and that's fouled off by Moy off to our right. Beyond the hut tin roof. Out towards Route 66 there.
5 guys, burgers and fries.
I took into account the wind direction when I parked earlier today down there, and I said there's no way a foul ball can hit my car in that parking lot today the way the wind is blowing. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Ooh,
just
that
missed.
was close.
Count goes 1-2.
That was tough to take, you know. If you teach your kids if it's within 6 inches, you better swing at it, then that one certainly was.
Gabori's 1-2. Try to cut the outside edge and missed. The count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now if you're Gabori, you've just walked the bases loaded. You might think he'll throw up a meaty pitch here to Moy. Will he tease a corner? And the pitch is going to be popped up and going to be fouled off in the right field. And
yeah, the right fielder couldn't get to it.
Count remains level at 2-2. Got Chapman in the on-deck circle. Good to see Paul LaFleur and company out at Bristol the other day, yesterday.
Yeah. Dave Greenleaf was there, too.
David Greenleaf, he's here tonight. That pitch hit. Could be trouble over the outreach glove of Cardi. One will score. They're going to send another ball. Got past Rolnick, the right fielder. He recovers and will send it back in without much harm done. I think they were going to score 2 anyhow. Yep. Stone scores. Azadian scores. Moy now has 3 RBIs in the ball game.
Yeah, that's the first hit, I believe, off Gabori. And that much closer now.
So 7-5 is your tally with 1 down. You still have 2 on base. 5 runs on 4 hits for Westport. 7 runs on 9 hits for Middletown. That's their first hit since the 3rd when Drabel had a base hit.
For a moment, the second baseman looked like he might have a play on it, but then you could see it was like a foot over his glove. He didn't really drop step to try to get it. He was trying to stand still and see if he can leap.
Lenahan started. He worked 3, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. The reliever is Gabori. His team went out and promptly scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th to take a 7-3 lead. It's now 7-5 here in the 5th.
Yeah, the runner's going on this pitch.
Moy ready to dash, perhaps. He's going to go. The pitch bunted. They were trying to squeeze him home there, Steve.
Either that or they were just trying to, safety squeeze, like depending upon where the bunt was. But the runner was going.
Yeah, he was halfway down the line.
Yeah, and if they ever popped it up, the inning would have been over.
Chapman in the ball game is struck out, popped up to the pitcher. Count 0-2. And the pitch. Runner goes. They will throw down. Sit and duck. Good throw. They're going to call him safe. He missed him with a tag. Whoa. And Moy has a stolen base. He looked like a sit and duck there.
I know, and the runner didn't even break from third.
Holy cow. Well, a base hit now would potentially tie things up. Infield's going to come in around the horn, count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch up and in, the count goes 2-2. Chapman, the number 7 hitter in the lineup, the second baseman for Westport. Makes him a tougher hitter with that infield in. Now they'll drop back some.
Halfway in the middle. He threw a pitch that bounced to the plate. That was. He said because there was he gave him time, so he just kept going with his delivery.
Wind has subsided here in Middletown a little.
Looked like one of those Obama opening day tosses.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Hit high in the air, shallow center, shortstop out. Who's going to take it? Boy, I tell you, Dixon came racing in. Garofalo stayed with it and made the play. And they're talking about whose ball that should be. Garofalo does have a lot of range, good ball player. And Dixon was anxious to get to it, too. Who do you like to catch that ball in that situation,
the outfielder.
Steve?
Yeah, he's got his momentum going in.
Right fielder number 12, Kevin Lindwall.
As an outfielder, the outfield grass is yours. That's really what you're trying to do. Unless the other guy's camped underneath it, then you leave him alone.
So now you got 2 critical outs if you're a Middletown fan. And for the Westport fans out there, you're biting your fingernails because we're in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and for North Haven, you're happy because more and more pitches are being thrown.
Pitches popped up onto the hut tin roof. When I was here for the CIC State Championship game, not many fouled off the roof up top there. No, not at all. None in your game. I had to count on that.
That's because we didn't hit any foul balls. We didn't hit many foul balls, Don. I think I forgot how many hits we have. We have 13 runs,
Here comes a pitch over the outside corner for the strike 3 call. Pretty pitch by Gabori, and that could have been a lot worse than it was. With 1 out, he had walked the bases loaded, and they score 2, however, and they make it 7-5. We're back with the bottom of the 5th inning. Middletown coming to the plate. Stay with us here on SportingNewsCT.com.
By the brave men and women, both past and present, who have chosen to serve our country. Tonight, the Middletown American Legion posts 7.
President Roosevelt signs Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.com.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life.
A little God Bless America right here at Palmer Field in Middletown, honoring all the veterans of today and yesteryear, of course. That really should be our national anthem, I think. A lot of people, America the Beautiful might be another, yeah.
It's
the
debatable.
Star Spangled Banner.
It's fine with me.
Might change things now. 7-5 your score. I love American Legion baseball. Of course, they all stand at attention before every American Legion game with the Star Spangled Banner being played. And I like the touch here as they have a little respite as we move on here to the bottom of the 5th inning. Middletown trying to grow a 2-run lead, Steve. 7-5, they lead it.
Yeah, this game is really anybody's ball game here, Don. There's just so many crazy things are happening. There's just too many freebies in this game to say it's over. Both pitchers giving up, giving men on base. And, one minute you think that they've settled down and they're pitching very well, and the next minute they walk 2 or 3 in a row. So.
Yeah, it really has been strange. Famblighetti coming up to the plate. He has singled and walked. He scored a couple of runs. They've got some production out of the bottom part of the order. Yeah. Due, in fact, of course, to some walks. Count is now 1 ball, 1 strike as they appeal. Famblighetti did not go around. LeMay, and then Petrozello scheduled to follow against a righty, Alec Chima. Portsman started. Portman went what? 3.5 innings, 3 2/3 innings, I think. I didn't write it down. 3 2/3.
He gave up 1 out. Yeah,
3 1/3.
3 1/3. Yeah.
Sidearm delivery came in.
Right into the other dugout.
He had to fight that off.
Luckily, the dugout is more or less empty.
A little bit understaffed in the dugout is Westport today, and that pitch hit on the ground. Third baseman will field it, and Russo had a ricochet away. Comes up gutting as he recovers, and he got him. Beautiful play by the third baseman, Veneruso. That's stick-to-itiveness if I've ever seen it.
Wow, yeah. He sure booted that one. It looked like Famblighetti just didn't get out of the batter's box quick enough.
So brings up Tyler LeMay to the plate with 1 down.
Tyler hit that Little League home run.
Yes, right.
Up, right.
A little humper.
Yeah.
Down to the shortstop. He's walked and scored. Top of the order on deck. Westport 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 more in the 5th for their total of 5. Middletown has done a lot of damage over the last 2 innings, 3 and 4 runs respectively, and the shortstop Moy thought he had a casual play there. Instead, it's an E6 and LeMay is on.
Yeah, the second ball on the road, it was actually bobbled. The first one hit far much harder though. The first one was a tough play and a good recovery by the third baseman. This one, shortstop Moy on the run, just couldn't find the handle.
So Petrozello to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today with a run scored.
Haven't seen any hit and run attempts in this game so far.
You get 1 out. 1 on. The pitch outside for a ball.
Oh.
In the 4th inning, Middletown sent 10 to the plate.
Yeah.
Those uniform tops they have on today, and there's a big rivalry between Middletown and Bristol. I really shouldn't say that, but the uniform top looks kind of similar now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pitcher there for the strike. Really, they have the 2 premier ballparks in the state of Connecticut, in my estimation, for amateur baseball. They are beautiful.
Yeah. Simsbury's pretty nice.
Yes, that's very nice, too.
Although their press box is locked a lot.
And time is called.
As we broadcasted our Junior American Legion game this year from the left field line.
Absolutely. Behind the bullpen. Yeah. I've never had such an up-close look at a bullpen in all my life. We were right there.
At least the young men in the bullpen were helping us.
You know what? They were very helpful, and they stayed out of our way, which was terrific, and they were very respectful.
Yeah, they're giving us some hints as to the names of players.
Absolutely. Petrozello trying to get something brewing here for Middletown. They lead it by 2 in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch missed outside. We got a level count. What do you call it? A strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Okay, he did put up 2 and 2, and then he changed it to the plate umpire. 3 balls, 1 strike. Garofalo, the dangerous hitter on deck. That pitch inside, and that's ball 4. So you got an error, and you got a walk. You got 2 on with 1 out. Garofalo to the plate. 3-run triple in the 4th when he hit the gap in right center field.
And you think that they'd be playing him a little bit deeper, but they're not. He's only about, say, 3 steps from where he was before.
Yeah, they're talking about Drabel, of course.
Yeah.
Garofalo nearly found the warning track on a long roll out towards that 380 mark in right center field. His last plate appearance. He's got 2 hits today. He's also grounded out. And the pitch. Right over the outside corner for the strike. Pretty pitch.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. That was a good pitch for Garofalo to drive in the right center, too.
Chima working from the stretch with 2 on and 1 out. Tried to pick that outside corner again and just missed. I think he won the strike call on that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty poor frame that time by the catcher as he pulled it back about 6 inches.
Matt Stone. That's an art to frame a pitch.
Yeah, but if a pitch is clearly a ball, there's no point in framing it, because then the umpire never trusts you.
Yeah.
You know, he just doesn't think. He always thinks you're going to do that. He's never going to trust your frame.
Count 3-1. Chima in some trouble here. Ground ball hit up the middle. Past a dive of Shatman. Touching the bag at third and holding on there is LeMay. So Garofalo with his 3rd hit of the ball game there, Steve, and now they got him loaded for Timmy Dixon.
And only 1 out.
Dixon with an RBI single back in the 3rd. He has walked and reached on a fielder's choice. And they're going to have a little conversation on the hill.
I think the coach only wanted to talk to the pitcher, though, but now all of a sudden everybody gets in on it.
Everybody's going to know a little secret. 7 runs on 10 hits now for Middletown.
Did you see that? There was that internet video of the Little League coach who went out and all he did was berate the pitcher.
No, I didn't see that.
It was like every pitcher he went out to, all he did was berate him and had him on tape. I was like, jeez.
He was probably mic'd up, right? Well, Middletown trying to put lights out here tonight and move on in this tournament. The winner to play North Haven tomorrow. That would be in a loser's bracket game. And the winner would go on to play. This really gets confusing for me. There's so many games. It's amazing how they put this schedule together. Pitching there for the strike.
Different format this year with the pods and the double elimination.
Absolutely.
You know, the complaint in the past was that the team could win a zone and be out in 1 game.
Oakville awaiting the winner of tomorrow's game. There's a base hit and an RBI for Dixon, so the number 3 guy in the lineup will add a run to the scoreboard as LeMay scores easily. Bases remain loaded, and again the hit parade begins. We have a little leak in the dike there with the error and a walk, and they make them pay. So Cardi will step up to the plate. Swings and dribbles one to the charging shortstop. They get the out the bag at second. That's it, and another run scores. As Petrozello scores. So now we'll put him on the corners with 2 outs.
So they got 9 runs now or 10? 7. Excuse me, 9.
Right fielder number 7, Connor Ruling.
Rolnick now stepping up to the plate. Been hit by a pitch. Collected an RBI when he was hit by a pitch. Is that no? Is that right? I do have RBI down there. Could have put it in the wrong spot. Singled in the 4th. Yeah, the bases were loaded.
Had to be an RBI. Yeah, had to be an RBI.
Yep. Here's a little slow roller. This should do it, and it's volleyed along by Chapman to Moy, and that will end the inning. So Rolnick on a pitch rolls out into a force out, and that will do it. So Dixon comes out with a big hit. Couple of runs up on the board, and the lead back to 4 at 9-5. We'll be back with more right here. The top of the 6th upcoming on SportingNewsCT.com right after these messages.
I play soccer now for both my school and for my NEU Premier team. It lets me clear my head. Most people, they'll go and lift weights or they'll read a book or they'll have even a stress ball. Soccer is definitely my stress relief. It can calm me down. It lets me work out everything that I have. It lets me have that free time to just think, process, focus on something else if I need it. I play soccer.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
All right, welcome right back as we travail into the bottom of inning. Actually, the top of inning number 6 we go. This game just moving along so quickly. Started at 5:30. We played 5. And it's about, 2 hours old. And Kevin Greer to lead things off. Number 9 guy in the lineup has reached on a walk. He has struck out here today. Gabori trying to start things off strongly, and he'll get a pop-up. Third baseman will make the play as LeMay camps underneath and makes the catch for 1 out here in the top half of 6.
Yeah, now you might start counting. If you're the Middletown coach, you're starting to look at the number of outs that are left.
Center fielder number 1, Chris.
You know how they have pitch count. Would you rather see outs versus pitch count?
I thought, my own personal opinion was I thought that the CIAC should have just moved to 1 extra day if you went 10 innings. Instead of 10 innings and 3 count. 30 outs in 3 calendar days. They should have just made it 30 outs in 4 calendar days, and then American Legion could have done something similar to that. That's what I'd rather see.
This is Drabel to the plate. He's a fine ball player for this Westport team, trying to ignite something to keep the season alive for Westport.
I can't complain too much because it actually benefited us. In high school, in the tournament. Yeah.
For Seymour.
Yeah. Because the first game of the tournament, it was canceled after 2 days. 2 innings, rather, because of the rain. And neither pitcher started that game could pitch the next day because they went over the 25-pitch limit in the 2 innings. So, you were forced to pitch another pitcher.
Another guy, yeah.
Fortunately for us, our number 2 was better than the other team's number 2, and we scored a ton of runs and saved our top pitcher for the second game instead of the first game. So it actually worked out for us. It kind of worked out
into the rotation.
Yeah, in the rotation. Yeah. But in reality, you're saying, you can't pitch your a top guy anymore because he threw more than 25 in 1 day.
So Drabel walks. It brings up Quigley. We've had a slew of walks here today. You need 2 hands to count them. Actually, you need 3 hands to count how many walks have been issued today. Pitch low and inside.
Yeah, there's 9, 10, 11 walks issued to Westport batters and 4 walks issued, or maybe 5 walks issued to Middletown batters plus 1 hit batter.
And the 1 intentional walk.
Yeah.
That pitch in there for the strike call, the left-handing hitting Quigley. Quigley is walked, struck out, hit a fly ball out. Left fielder. We'll be somewhere tomorrow. Steve and I will either be together or apart.
Depends where it is.
Yep.
I wonder if Naugatuck, if they have their press box open, though. That seems like a decent game, too.
No, that's a good question. Soft
Brantford's
throw.
Playing there.
Yeah, that'd be a good game to do. 2-1 to count, 1 out. We can make a phone call after the game. That pitch bunted out in front of home. Gabori will let it go, and the catcher, Maggetti, wheeling, will fire it to the bag at first there. So that was interesting. Gabori coming on, and Maggetti and Gabori, finally getting it, and that would be a base hit.
Yeah, Maggetti did what he's supposed to do with the way he approached the ball, but then he had to put something on it, and he had to snap that wrist quicker. Yeah. It's a very, very difficult play for him. So he actually made a decent play, but the runner just had some speed.
See, I thought Gabori perhaps had a better angle there, Steve, coming off the mound. I was a little surprised from Maggetti. He had a turn.
Yeah, he had a turn. He had to spin around.
This is Stone to the plate now with 2 on, 1 out. Stone in the ball game, collected a couple of RBIs, back in the first on a single. He has walked twice. Wind continues to blow a little bit out there towards left center field. Some folks enjoying the beautiful walking course they have beyond the flags. A little bridged area over the river.
Way out in right center field. Looks like a team's out there, yellow shirts all out there.
Count of 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 2 on here at the top of 6. Westport down by 4 runs. Gabori's pitch, 1-1, swing and a miss as he throws it by him. Stone going after that aggressively. So you got a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Outfield remains about straight away. I have not had any substitutions other than the pitchers today. And he strikes them out. So Stone will go back to the dugout, discouraged. Now you have 2 down. And here comes Harris Azadian to the plate. He struck out intentionally, walked, and walked.
Third strikeout. Third strikeout of the game for Micah Gabori.
So you got your cleanup hitter up if you're Westport with a runner on. You're down by 4 here in the 6th.
Yeah. Well, here's the issue, though, Don. Is this really your cleanup hitter? I mean, it is today, but, they only showed up with 9 guys plus a pitcher, I think. And so you never know.
2 balls and 1 strike. Gabori can win this one. He did not start for Middletown. Lenahan got the start. He worked 3. And the 2-0 pitch, a little high, and the count goes 3 balls, no strikes.
The worst thing you can do is walk people at this point. You're counting down outs. You're saying, hey, we're 4 outs away from getting this game in the books, and you just can't just allow people to get on free.
Getting a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Drops it in. Automatic strike call, and the count goes 3-1. I have petitioned to every rules committee out there. Nobody will agree that the 3-0 pitch
automatic strike
should be automatic. 3-1 is fouled back.
Oh, you want to play that game? I forgot what league I saw once where everything was a 1-1 count to start with, or
really,
or some of these remember some of the pro things they wanted to do in extra innings now? Put a guy in second base with nobody out.
Like that, yeah. Here comes Gabori able to spin and look the runners back to the bag.
There's nobody there.
Count full, 3-2. Holds it high. The runners go, and it's fouled off at the plate. They're off and running on the 3-2 pitch. Zadian taking a couple of healthy practice swings outside the batter's box. Now he's in. Outfield remains about straight away. And again, Gabori will look the runners back. Paying a lot of attention to the runners out there. All he needs is a pitch over the plate.
I know.
Here comes the 3-2. Runners go, and that hit high up into the air. And coming on, the left fielder, and Pietruzzello will put it away for the inning's final out. So that's going to do it in the inning. They threaten with 2 on, but they leave them there, does Westport. We're back with the bottom of the 6th. 9-5 you score. Middletown with the lead.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't.
Well, Don, you know, back here at Palmer Field, you know, the first inning, Westport ended up with 2 big runs. You know, right off the bat here to take the lead. They scored another one in the third. Middletown tied it up in the third inning, you know, after a bunch of walks, after the starting pitcher for Westport, Jack Portman, had actually struck the side out in the second inning. Then he walked the first 2 batters in the third inning, then gave up 3 straight hits, rather. The big one, you know, being the 3 straight singles by Garofalo, Dixon, and Carty to tie the game up at 3. And then Middletown came up big in that 4th inning, where there was 6 hits in a row, I believe, in that stretch, where it all started off with Connor Rolnick leading off with a single, and the big hit being Luke Garofalo's bases-clearing triple after that, and that made the score 7-3, and then Westport got 2 in the 5th, and as with a couple of walks that started it for them, and they Middletown ended up answering right back with 2 more in the bottom of the 5th, rather.
All right, Andrew Moy now out there pitching for Westport. I believe Veneruso has moved from third base to shortstop, and I did not pick up who's at the bag at third. Could be Chima, or is that Portman? It's hard to read. I don't see a number.
Well, it can't be Portman, because Portman's a lefty, right?
Yeah, that's right. It could maybe a switch when he's a fielder. Who knows?
Maybe.
So it's probably. I can't pick it up. I'm not even going to guess until I find
numbers,
out.
I know.
Count 3 balls and 1 strike to Needman. He pops it up. Foul territory, and it's going to be out of play, and he'll get a chance to swing again. He is singled in 3 tries, has Needman. Cole Needman.
All right, so the third baseman looks like, is that number 12 on his back and 15 on the pitcher, right? So maybe that's Moy playing third base now?
No, Moy's on the hill.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Moy's on the hill. Right.
He's into the windup in the 3-2 pitch, and that's hit in flight to center field and falls in for a base hit. Drabel will field it there. So Needman with his second hit of the ball game becomes a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of inning number 6.
The first baseman.
This is Westport's. Middletown's 12th hit of the game.
Klaskowski to the plate now. Throw to the bag at first, and Needman got back. His name is Andrew, but they call him DJ. And he's 1 for 3 as DJ today. Singled in the 4th and scored a run. And he'll hit the runner. He's automatically out.
Yep.
And they throw it to first.
No, the runner's automatically out, and it's considered a base hit for the
so
batter.
Base hit for DJ Klaskowski.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in so long. I forgot how to score that.
Yeah, no.
Who gets the put out in that case? The pitcher?
The pitcher? Catcher? No, I don't know. Pitcher probably.
Closest fielder?
Closest fielder.
Own goal? So you have 1 down. Flamighetti stepping up to the plate now. He has singled in 2 tries, also walked. He scored a couple of runs. He's been productive from the 8th spot. He's found a way to get on and a way to touch home.
Yeah, 9 runs on 12 hits, no errors for Middletown. 5 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for Westport.
Moy's pitch. That's in there for the strike. Nice looking curveball. So Moy gets a little bit of a lucky bounce there with that ball hitting the runner, or he'd be facing 2 on and nobody out.
Yep.
Now he's ahead the batter here, 0-2, and he paints the outside corner. Flamighetti caught looking for a strikeout for Moy since coming on into the ball game. You have 2 down. Tyler LeMay to the plate.
Lemoy was probably going to be tomorrow's pitcher, just by the way he looks. Looks like he's probably a starter. Yeah, he was probably tomorrow's pitcher, but they're figuring at this point.
But they got to shut the door here. They're down to their final 3 outs. Yeah,
right.
Trailing by 4 runs. That's a strike. Could be pitching in his final game of the 2018 American Legion season. Moy missed low and away. Moy working quickly. 1-1 pitch, and that's now 1-2 as LeMay well behind that fastball. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 down. That pitch missed. Two balls, 2 strikes to count. Looking ahead for Westport. That pitch is over for the strike 3 call, and that'll do it. Impressive by May here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Then Russo, Moy, and Shatman, the scheduled hitters, as they perhaps bat for the final time in 2018. Back with all that after all this. The top of the 7th upcoming on SportingNewsCT.com.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service.
All right, welcome right back. Third pitcher being utilized by Middletown today as Ryan Hurlbut gets a chance to throw and shut things down here in the top of the 7th. Not a save situation for Hurlbut, but he can just clean things up here for Mike Gabori, who could pick up the victory in relief of Lenahan.
And for Westport, hoping that it's the same as what happened with the Yankees with Chapman right here by 4 runs. And
exactly.
He almost blows the save.
And
it wasn't a save, yeah.
If he lets in a run, it becomes a save opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Hurlbut into the windup. Will he try to pad his stats? Is the question. First pitch.
Well, what you're really hoping is he throws less than 30 pitches, so he can use them tomorrow. That's the real key.
Yeah, all hands on deck.
Yeah.
Winner of tomorrow's losers bracket game will play again on Wednesday and potentially 2 games.
Yeah.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch, and that's over for the strike, and the count goes 2 balls, 1 strike. Then Russo today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Westport has had chances today. They've had the bases loaded on a couple of occasions here.
Yeah, they've left 7 on base, is what I had, Matt. 8 left on base for Middletown. Real story of this game, Don, is the fact that Luke Garofalo, when you think about it, I mean, he's 3 for 4 on the day, 2 singles, a triple, scored 2 runs, and got about 3 RBIs on the day.
That's ball 4. Another walk, and then a Russo to the bag at first to start the 7th. Brings up Andrew Moy. Moy with an RBI single in the 5th. He walked with the bases loaded and collected an RBI.
When you're up by 4 runs, the worst thing you can do is start walking people. And once he walks right out there, says, "What?" Turns around and walks right back.
Yeah, don't walk the guy.
Yeah,
pitch to him.
Like these guys, these 2 coaches, though, are a lot faster than our old buddy from Brantford.
Oh yes.
Andrew Moy.
So here's Moy. If they come all the way back, he could be the winning pitcher for Westport the way things are going right now. 3rd pitcher being utilized. So a total of 6 pitches between the 2 teams today. Long look in by Hurlbut. And he's ready to deal it. And the 0-1 pitch. That's a strike over the outside corner.
His first pitch, Hurlbut, went from the full kick. That time he shifted to a slide step on the pitch.
Count 0-2. Got a run around at first base. And that breaks off the glove of Amlagetti. Looked like it was a yo-yo on the end of his catcher's mitt there.
His mask or something too. I don't know.
Might have got him in the shoulder because he just flexed the shoulder.
If you look at the number of freebies in this game, Don, I mean, Middletown is winning by 4 runs. They've given up 12 walks in this game. Think about that one.
Crazy.
Right? And they're ahead by 4. Westport has given up 6 freebies. 1 hit batter in there, so the rest is the worst. But if you look at the number of hits, obviously it's 12-5 in favor of Middletown as well.
Corbett with a long look in. He'll stand tall. Runner at first. Not going too far. And that ball hit to the right side. Diving play by Carty, and from the knees he'll throw to first to get the shore out. Good decision by Carty. I think he had made that all the way, that he was just going to get the guy at first base and get the out.
That's what you want to do. Just get the outs.
4-3, 1 down. Then Russo into the bag at second. Brings up Ben Shatman, the second baseman.
Number 36, Ben.
Leskowski at first, Carty at second. Garofalo is your shortstop. LeMay at the bag at third. Lemaghetti behind the plate. Whip that mask off there as he blocked that down the dirt. Petrozello in left field, Dixon in center. Rolnick, the right fielder for Middletown, trying to pick up a win here at home.
An interesting one here, Don, is 8 out of the 9 batters for Westport have walked today. And they're still down by 4.
That's a strike call, and the count goes 1 ball, 1 strike to Shatman. Corbett trying to work quickly. I love those guys that just get up there and fire. Here comes the 1-1. Runner goes. Pitch low and away. And uncontested steal at third by Russo. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Strike call. Count goes level at 2-2. Kevin Lindwall in the on-deck circle for this Westport team, down to their final 2 outs. Looks like you got some players ready to play a game, eagerly awaiting beyond the left field fence. Yeah. This field gets a lot of use, doesn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah. It's in great shape, too.
It really is. A gem right here in Middletown, Connecticut, in the middle of the state. The 3-2 offering hit high in the air. Foul territory. Third baseman camps underneath, and Tyler LeMay puts it away for the second out of the inning. So Lindwall here in the game is singled, walked, and struck out. Number 8 hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, could be the last out of the season for this Westport team.
So Herbert will look in for the sign.
Maybe they should just let him go to second so they can pick him off again.
That's right. Pitch in there for the strike call.
They've already picked him off second twice this evening.
Herbert looking comfortable right now and delivers.
Sliced foul.
Yeah, over towards the five guys maybe.
No, that one's past five guys. That's over the pizza joint.
No way. That's way down the road. I wouldn't even walk there. I'd take my car down to the pizza place from the parking lot here. You can't walk that far either. Count 0-2. Curveball just missed.
Can you imagine if they ended the game on that one, the umpire saying, yeah, he went, or whatever, right?
Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The home field is just about straight away. Middletown trying to move on in this tournament, winning 9-5 here in the 7th. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Linwall, and that will do it. Gabori is going to pick up the win in relief of Lenahan. Herbert comes on. He cleans things up here in the 7th. The loser will be Jack Portman, the starter today for Westport. Your final score, 9-5. We'll take one quick break, back with a brief recap with Steve Riley after this.
Coming out to the game this evening and supporting American Legion Baseball. Post 75 moves on in tournament play.
President Roosevelt signs.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. The American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund is the fund created by the American Legion to help ensure a college education if your parent gave their life in service of our nation. The impact of that is immeasurable, and your donation is desperately needed. Please visit us at legion.org and join me in making a generous donation today.
The American.
Well, back here at Middletown's Palmer Field, Middletown has just eliminated Westport from the American Legion State Tournament here in Connecticut by the score of 9-5 for Westport. 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fifth. A total of 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. They left 8 runners on base. For Middletown, 3 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. They win it, as it said, 9-5. They got 11 hits. 12 hits, correct that, and they left 8 runners on base. Well done. I think in the beginning of this game, Westport a little discombobulated. They come in, they don't know who's actually going to bat where. The lineup they didn't have a lot of guys showing up. They only had 9 or 10 showing up here this evening, and it didn't show in the beginning as they scored 2 quick runs with an RBI single by Matt Stone. Then they got a run in on the third inning with a walk, and they thought they were cruising it 3-0. The second inning, starting pitcher Jack Portman had struck the side out, and then the wheels came off in the third a bit. A walk, a base hit, and then another base hit, and it's 3-3. And in the fourth inning, that's when Middletown exploded. Their bats came to life as they got a total of 6 hits in a row. The big one, a triple by Luke Garofalo, their big hitter, and the outfield just did not give him the respect that he deserved, and they paid for it as Middletown scored that big 4 runs in the fourth. So the player of the game, in my opinion, Don, Luke Garofalo, 3 for 4 on the day, 2 singles, 2 runs, and a triple, 3 RBIs. Winning pitcher will still be the starter, Mike Gabori, who came on in relief of Sean Lenahan as the game was tied when he came in. And Mike Gabori lasted 3 innings. They came out with Ryan Hurlburt to pitch the 7th inning. For Westport, the losing pitcher is Jack Portman. They threw a total of 3 pitchers as well. But, a lot of freebies in this game, Don. 12 freebies given to Westport, and they just couldn't capitalize. And as the saying goes, it's all about timely hitting, not necessarily hitting. And they just could not make Middletown pay for all those walks.
Well, they certainly held on to Middletown, and they win here. 12 hits in the ball game certainly did enough, and 9 runs, obviously, to do it offensively here. Just want to run down quickly the schedule as it sits right now on the American Legion website for tomorrow. In Pod A, Windsor will take on Avon in a losers bracket matchup at Buckingham Park. In Pond B, Winstead is awaiting the unknown West Hartford at Niantic, and that game to be played somewhere tomorrow. You got Moose up in Berlin out at Sage tomorrow at 4:30. Elsewhere, RCP awaiting the winner of Waterford-Tolland. No report on that. It started at 5:45. That's in Pod D. And then we move on to the regional tournament in the South. Boy, I got to really think about that. Trumbull and Hamden play at Hamden High School. That game at 4:30. Waterbury and Wilton out at Wilton High School at 4:30. Brantford and Naugatuck. That should be a good one. Steve Riley may be there. He's going to let us know at 5:45 on Tuesday. North Haven, as you know, taking on this Middletown team at 4:30 in Pod H. That's out at Bob DeMayo Field, the winningest coach in high school history.
Yeah.
Bob DeMayo.
So tomorrow there'll be another 8 teams eliminated, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we'll get it on down. So that's going to do it for Steve Riley and the entire gang. Thanks for tuning in to SportingNewsCT.com. We hope you had some fun with us. We enjoyed bringing it to you. Goodbye, everybody.